Hey guys, Tarke here, and I want to make a quick video to talk about the difficulty of Syndicate, since there has been some talk of people wanting nerfs, and personally I'm actually really against the nerfs for it. For context, I am level 90 in the league, it's day 2, I've killed the final boss dude, and my full Syndicate has reset. So I've experienced the full starter league experience, and I reset starter league on a Cold Snap Vortex Trickster, which was a very good league starter, it was a very powerful league starter. So keep in mind, I'm coming from the point of view of someone who had a good league starter build, so I might think that the system is easier than others who had a bad league starter build. So a lot of the complaints about difficulty, I think, comes from people being at league start, having gone from the end of like a league to the start of a league. There's always that massive power reset, and people playing a lot of like bad skills or wonky skills, and then not understanding a new, very overwhelming system. So there's like lots of reasons why it seems a lot harder than it is, but I will admit it is very challenging content. But on that note, the vast majority of the gameplay is softcore, and I think the game should be balanced around softcore, and it seems to be that GG agrees, because when we've had people like Jonathan and Chris on Bay Class, they've said, yeah, we balance around softcore, and the hardcore guys just kind of put up with it. That's literally what Jonathan said on the last one. Most people who play hardcore because they enjoy the challenge. I played hardcore for 5 years. I've recently swapped over to softcore for private leagues and SSF, and the whole time I played hardcore, I agreed that it's like you let the softcore boys be the main aim. We play hardcore because we want it to be extra difficult. So the main issue I think happens is because the system is so overwhelming. People are just saying, shit, what do? I don't understand. I know, I guess I'll just execute everything because that's easy. When you execute Syndicate members, they become more powerful. So if you look at the board, I've got a rank 3 Vague in here. So he's got 3 unique items giving him increased damage and stuff. He's like super, super scary. So if you don't know what you're doing and just like execute, you're making it really difficult. All of these like items they have equipped, like stun chance, attack speed, hinder on hit, multiple proj, for example, is very scary. On this one, this does a lot of chaos damage, bleed on hit. Like, putting loads of items, constantly executing early on when you don't know what you're doing is making it very difficult. So if you're really struggling early on, maybe try not making the people such high ranks. You can also get the option to remove the items, so it becomes a lot easier. Now, this is mostly an issue of people not really understanding the system and not knowing, oh, this guy is scary with this mod. The other things which is very clear is there's a lots of like ground telegraph stuff which isn't very well telegraphed and does a lot of damage. So it's not necessarily a case that they all need to be made easier. There may be like 1 or 2 problem exiles or syndicates who could be focused on, or if not nerfed, you make their visual more clearer. The main 3 which stood out to me for being more challenging is Tora. Tora does a lot of chaos damage. Haku just does a lot of damage and has a lot of like ground targeted stuff. And Yanis, this guy, who has like this bone spire like floor effect. Now, I leveled in a 3-man party, and the 2 guys I was leveling with had terrible league start builds. Their builds were terrible, and they were dying multiple times, like every single fortification we did, while I wasn't dying at all. Now, a lot of their problems were having bad league starter builds, not knowing what was going on, and because there was lots of like clutter on the ground from 3 people playing together, we couldn't really see what much that was happening there. Now, a lot of those issues could have been solved if we had, you know, better skill sliders or whatever for group play. This is something I talked about on the last Bay Class directly to Jonathan, and he seemed not that into the idea. I still think if I'm playing in a group of 5 people, I don't need to see my friend's freeze pulse effect at 100% visibility. Shoot it down to 50%, make it slightly transparent. I'll still know it's there, but I can see what's happening on the fucking floor. I think a lot of the issues with difficulty in Path of Exile aren't actually because stuff is difficult, it's because you can't really see what's happening. Without spoiling the final boss fight, which I did, most of the issues I had with the final boss fight was due to like not being able to see the clear telegraphs and the clear visuals. But anyway, getting off that whole thing of AoE overlap and telegraphs, when it comes to where you encounter the different people, so Fortification is a great example of this. There are very large arenas and very small arenas. The very large arenas are easy because you can see everything clearly and you can dodge everything clearly. The very small fortifications with multiple people in it are very rippy. So if you're struggling, try drag them out of the fortifications, or maybe the solution is only have the large areas, not the really weird small ones. If we always had the larger areas and more space to see what's happening going on around it, people will be struggling a lot less. I also think another good fix, which is just something that you could do if you want to nerf it, but not nerf it for everyone, is scale down the elemental and chaos damage early on. Also keep in mind that I didn't find it that bad while leveling, although it was challenging. And I'm in a private league which has minus all res. This affects chaos res and haste. So, like, I should have had it a lot harder than most. Yes, I had a very good league starter though, so I guess it's skewed because I'm an experienced player who had a very good league starter build compared to a new player who may have a very bad build, will struggle a lot more, and it's quite fair that, yes, he will complain about that. So, if you scale down the elemental and chaos damage for the first 5 acts, that gives players a chance to kind of understand how the new mechanic works, but also gain resists. You know, you can afford to take a bunch of chaos damage when you have chaos res. When you haven't got, when you're minus 60 chaos res, you suddenly take loads of chaos res in Act 1. It's like, what the hell is this? Or res in Act 2 when you haven't hit the penalty yet. But you get what I'm saying. If you have 0 cold res and then some dude's just like slamming you in the face, it's going to be a lot scarier than if you had 40 or 50 cold res. I also think that when you first encounter the Syndicate, you shouldn't actually have the option to execute and upgrade them until probably Act 5 again. The reason why I say Act 5, Act 6, at that point you've got your Spell Echoes, you've got your Multi-Strikes, you've got your Ignite Prolifts. Like, at that point you tend to have all the support gems you need to make your build function. So I feel like a very easy solution to nerf the content without actually making it harder for people, without actually making it easy for people once they've established it in the league, is just have it so you can't get the super powerful Syndicate members early on. So if you either have it so you can't like fully upgrade Tora until you get to Act 5, Act 6, or just have it so Tora doesn't appear until Act 5, Act 6. If we have established that Haku, Tora, Yanis are the scariest ones, then maybe just have them appear once you get to Act 10. You don't necessarily need to have all of them appear straight away. But yes. For the people who are like really desperate for nerfs, maybe just like ask yourself the question, what exactly needs to be nerfed? I had a very long conversation with my friend Kane about this exact thing, and he's like, no, it's too broken, they need to nerf it, it's too powerful, it's too powerful. But then the more we talked about it, the more we kind of agreed that it wasn't that the whole system was too powerful, it was like 1 or 2 particular Syndicate members were too strong, and his main concern was the ranking was too strong. And now let's just do a cheeky little safe house, just to give you a nice little bit of gameplay and round out the video. And for anyone who hasn't seen it, they can kind of see like the power level of the rank 3 guys. But yeah, like I've got 18 deaths on this league, and that's in the private league, level 90. I have died. I'm not going to pretend that like perfect player or anything, far from it. I've done some really scuffed stuff, but generally I find that I can kill them a bit too quickly. So that's the other thing. If you just kill them, they don't do anything. And that's my biggest concern by nerfing them, is that if you just over-nerf them early while people aren't doing damage, then once people are doing damage, they're just going to one-shot them, and there's going to be no risk. Right now there's a risk because they do damage to you. And I like there to be challenge in Path of Exile, and I think most people generally like there to be challenge in Path of Exile. I think challenge makes the game more interesting. I don't know, maybe that's just me. But
foul the sanctuary. To the death!
Just
God tests our faith.
we certainly can't.
that was my ingredients.
Try not to
I guarantee I personally run
That was gas as well, it doesn't do dangerous, 12 of damage. And that was that. That was pretty easy, right? So it's like, my character's established, so it's easy.
I will enjoy.
And if you nerf all that stuff, then once characters are already established, then it becomes even easier. And the rewards are really good. Okay, maybe that wasn't the best example, but like the stuff you get from this is very good, and I'm also of the opinion that very powerful rewards should be gated behind very hard challenges in before 0 rewards. Okay, let's see if we can get something decent from this. Okay, cool. We got some double ones there. Double bail, that's nice. 8 times Wrath, 10 Chaos Orbs, 6 link body armor. So yeah, the rewards are pretty good when you do this kind of stuff. I think that's fair to establish that, you know, if you're getting sick rewards like that, then the stuff should be kind of challenging. So yeah, let's see what 6-link bully armor we get.
Hello.
This is the second time I've done Gravicious. The time before I got a Porcupine Crusader plate. Decent. Not the best base, but not the worst. I can make that work for me. So yeah, you know, I feel like it's okay that the stuff is kind of challenging because it's like you get good shit from it, you know? Also, casual little roomies, by the way. But anyway, I'm Tarke. Please no nerf GGG. Have a good day. Bye-bye.